So getting into the details of how we're going to look at your food, I've got a bit of an analogy for you. We all, to whatever extent, manage our finances. Some of us don't bother looking at the prices in certain outlets because we know it doesn't really matter, and whatever the total is, we can probably afford it and we don't need to check. So for some people, that's a supermarket, for some people, that's a clothes shop, and for some people, for the super rich, it's buying a car. So in all situations, we know roughly how much money we've got, how much money the item costs, and roughly what we can afford. So right now, I want you to imagine that you're a child who gets asked how much your car is. And, they could say anything from £100 to £1,000,000. They have no idea. They have no benchmark and no intuition on the subject whatsoever. It's the same with the food that we eat and the calories that we consume. So as it's socially acceptable to track your finances, for example, if you had an app on your phone, people would be impressed by that and think you were really committed and disciplined about your savings. But for some reason, when it comes to your body and tracking your calories, people worry that that's being obsessive. But actually, your body is much more precious than your bank account, really, if you think about it. You only have one shot, you only have one body. And if you ruin it to the point of severe damage, it's going to take you a lot longer to repair it than if you have a big spending spree and need to make some more money. So yes, we are going to be tracking calories, and we're going to be using MyFitnessPal, which has millions of food options available, and it's simply the best app for it. Then you'll eventually have all the information that you need and you'll start to learn it as you go along. So once you have that information based on how many calories are in a certain food, you almost can't unknow it, which is a really good thing. And eventually you'll have the freedom to know, you'll look at a plate or you'll look at a packet of something and you'll know this has X amount of calories, this has X amount of protein in, and this is going to affect my body in a certain way. So in your initial survey, you provided us with some stats. You provided us with your age, your height, your weight, your activity level, and it's really, really important to make sure that this information is accurate. And if for any reason you think it's not accurate or you just guess for the sake of filling out the form, then please let us know by sending an email to Stacey over at hello@freedomnutrition.co.uk. So that's only if you think that the measurements might be slightly wrong and you've already filled out the form. We use this information to calculate a few different stats on your body, and then that will dictate the calories that we tell you that you need to input into the app for your goals. So you're going to be sent personalised information via email because yes, you are all different, so it's personalised and it's not going to be churned out on an automatic basis. So please just follow the instructions on the PDF after this video on how to download MyFitnessPal, how to plug in all your goals, and how to essentially track your food for week 1. And also remember, I'm going to be in the Food Fitness Focused Family Facebook group. God, that's a lot of Fs. So if you have any questions going along the way, then just ask. Throw the questions at me. I'm so happy to answer any questions that you have. And remember, there's no restriction with the foods that you eat. You can have anything that you want. It just has to be within your budget. So going back to the money example, let's say you're credited with a certain amount of money every day. And once it's gone, it's gone. Let's just put in brackets overdrafts because that doesn't really apply to this example. Once it's gone that money and there is no more. So let's say if you decide you've got X amount of money at the start of your day and decide to buy a D&G t-shirt, you only get one and that's your budget gone for the day. You could also decide to buy 5 white t-shirts, a pair of jeans and a handbag from Topshop for the same price. Either way, you spent your money and at the end of the day it's gone. So it doesn't matter what you spent it on, but you've spent it. So see that example the same way with your food. You could have a pizza tonight if you wanted to, but you need to save up for that. Or you could have a pizza for lunch, but then you're not going to have much left for the end of the day. Or you could spread your food out throughout the day with much more lower calorie foods. And then by the end of the day, you still will have used up all your calories. You'll still be back at zero, but you've just spent them on different things. Hopefully that makes sense, but ask any questions, like I say, in the Facebook group and join me on the next video to talk about your fitness.